Hey guys, welcome to Strange Suspicion. Today I am going to do another Bryan Kohberger video and cover a lot of things that I haven't before, such as sororities, fraternities, and Dylan and her boyfriend. I'd also like to state, if he's guilty, he's guilty. That's fine, but I don't think he's guilty. I don't mind saying it. I think it's very strange that he has like zero connection whatsoever. First thing that I'm going to examine is there is a 4chan post change. This 4chan post is very interesting for two reasons. The first reason is that it states why Ethan and Loach had the argument at the frat party. Apparently, Ethan was making fun of the fact that Loach takes steroids and it's gonna shrivel his balls, or it has shriveled his balls, whichever it is. And the second half of this post helps out because it states that there was one person and 3 lookouts. Barry, Loach, and Ethan were all in Sigma Chi. All right, guys, so Sigma Chi. These guys, oh my gosh, they are all over the country. They are stereotypical frat boys. They like to drink, they like to party.
But there was a sea of people that was just heads, 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 heads. There's music going, bum, 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 bum. You know what I'm saying? There's people all around. There's people up. There's people down. If you got on a balcony, you were supreme.
So they know that they're kind of protected. And when I say kind of protected, I mean very protected. There have been cases all over the country where people are hazed. And if you're not sure, if you're not familiar with what hazing is, it's kind of like an initiation, like a very, very cruel initiation into like your fraternity. And all kinds of things that they just, you know, they kind of just get a kick out of, and the person wants to be in the fraternity so bad that they actually just will do whatever. Unfortunately, there are assaults as they're initiated, like they're beaten or sexually assaulted by their frat brothers. It creates a bond, apparently. It's really important to some people to be in a fraternity, and some people will do anything. Well, the University of Idaho isn't able to keep everything a secret, so what I uncovered was there were 2 instances on the University of Idaho campus, both at a place called Paradise Creek. The first of these 2 people was a student named Hudson Lindau. Hudson Lindau drowned twice the legal limit for alcohol, and apparently walked all alone for 7 miles and fell down to this tiny bridge into this tiny creek of suicide by overconsumption. Same exact location for death, and was found also near Sigma Chi in Paradise Creek. And he was also very, very drunk, and they said that his death was also a suicide by overconsumption. This person had bruising and contusions on the top of his head, on like areas where it would have been signs of an attack. And there was also Hannah Cleary. Hannah Cleary did live in the house. She moved out, was bullied, and uncomfortable living there. Apparently, they said that she killed herself with sleeping pills, but it's just a little fishy to me that now there's actually 5 people who lived in that place who are not alive, and that one of them had to move out because of bullying. I wonder if it was because there's like a lot of drugs going through that house. Maybe she wasn't cool with it, maybe they made fun of her for it, I'm not sure, but this house is definitely a drug house. So I would think tying Sigma Chi into a house where we've seen the videos, guys, you've seen my videos, there were people who were like, they had no idea, or said they had no idea. I don't know if they were like covering because they were talking to police, but they were saying they had no idea who lived there. And one of those people was Hunter, which I found very strange because it was not that long away from the murders. And then during the vigil, Hunter was like a really, really good friend of theirs. So he must have been just saying he didn't know because he didn't want anybody to get in trouble. But the lying stuff is getting a little out of control. Which brings me to Dylan. Dylan is one of the surviving roommates, and her phone was used to call 911. She, however, did not call 911. And I was just like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? First, the fact that they said they slept through it, and they didn't. It's been proven because a juror leaked information that they were texting during the murders. So Bethany and Dylan were both fully aware of what was going on. I mean, I don't know. There was some golf clubs carried out. I've always thought that maybe they were knocked out and then killed. The golf clubs were taken out when the police said they wanted to help the families heal, and before all the evidence was taken, they took a lot of the property out, which is interesting. Because the knife sheath, that ties in right there. I was doing some research on DNA testing, and I found it very interesting that, like, say your DNA was found somewhere and you have no clue. You've never been there, you don't know those people, anything like that. I didn't know, guys, that DNA can transfer from items. Your DNA can be anywhere, you know? Like, you can smoke a cigarette and somebody could pick up the cigarette, or you could, you know what I mean? And then your DNA is on their DNA. Or you could have a jacket and it's put next to somebody's jacket during a party, or I don't know. I don't know how it would have happened, but it is possible that that knife sheath, guys, doesn't even belong to Bryan Kohberger. It just touched something that Bryan touched, which, I mean, at a college, a lot of things touch. People's books touch, their backpacks touch, their hands touch, their property touches. It is very possible the knife sheath can be completely thrown out here. But back to Dylan. Dylan was awake. Dylan was texting. Dylan was aware. Dylan was the one that said she saw somebody. It's a little fishy that she lied and said she was sleeping. That's the first thing. That's the first red flag I noticed about Dylan. And then when it came out that she was texting, it was interesting because it was pretty obvious she wasn't asleep, like, for the whole thing, because she said she was out in the hallway, and when she was out in the hallway, she saw some guy with bushy eyebrows. I don't know why she just doesn't tell the truth, you know what I mean? Like, maybe she's scared she's gonna get in some kind of trouble, or maybe she should get in trouble. I mean, I was thinking, like, isn't it, like, don't you have to report a crime or report a death, or isn't there some kind of, like, burden of proof she should have to have? Because she could have been aiding whoever this was and not calling the police while it happened and after it happened, and she could have been aiding this person by helping them get away. I mean, maybe 5 hours away, like where her boyfriend lived? I'm not sure.